कस्तूरी तिलकं ललाटपटले वक्षस्थले कौस्तुभम् नासाग्रे वर्मौक्तिकं करतले वेणुकरे कङ्कणम् सर्वांगे हरिचन्दनं सुललितम् कंठे च मुक्तावली गोपास्त्री परिवेष्टितो विजयते गोपाल चूड़ामणि वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Reading from Srimad Bhagwat Mahapuran, Canto 7, Dasham Saptam Askand. The slide shows chapter 7, but we have completed chapter 7, 8, 9, 10, and now 5 chapters are left, 11, 12, 13, 14. So far we have learnt about the very well-known episode of Narsingh Avatar and the devotion of Prahlad Ji. We celebrate Holi festival, the festival of colors, and until we came into the satsangs of Maharaj Ji, we would not relate the festival of colors Holi with the Narsingh Avatar. But Maharaj Ji would say the main reason for celebrating Holi should be to remember the omnipresence of the Lord, which was depicted in this avatar. Hiranyakashipu, the father of Prahlad Ji Maharaj, challenged him. You say that God is there in every atom. Is he there in the pillar? And then Prahlad Ji said, yes, my father, God is there in every atom of the universe. And he got so much infuriated that he hit the pillar with his fist, and the Narsingh form of the Lord, half lion, half man, emerged from the pillar. And we all read how this was such a ferocious form of the Lord that I have seen people, they are afraid of putting that picture, in their rooms. But we should love that picture because it is all about devotion. It is all about the Lord's merciful nature and the Lord's unflinching support and love for the devotees. So, if you remember, before the day of Holi, there is Holika Dahan. That is also associated with this episode, that the sister of Hiranyakashipu, she had the boon that if she wears that shawl, she can never be burned by fire. And that is what Hiranyakashipu decided, that Prahlad should sit on her lap. Prahlad should sit in her lap and then they should burn him down. But on that particular day, the fire couldn't burn Prahlad. In fact, Holika got burnt. So that is Holika Dahan, the story. And the emergence of the Lord from the pillar is to remember that the Lord is present in every atom. So this is what we keep sharing in every session. Quoting Bhagwat shloka, Vadanti tattva vidas tattvam ajnanam adamabhyayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagwan iti shabdyate. This is a very much iconic verse which says that Lord has three forms. This is the essence of the Vedic knowledge, that God has three forms. In one form, he is situated in every atom of the universe, and that form is called Brahma form, the unmanifest form. Without any qualities, without any attributes, it does not do any lila, it does not have any name, it does not have any form. That is the Nirgun Swarup of the Lord, that is the Brahma form of the Lord. And the second form of the Lord is the Paramatma form, in which the Lord is seated in the heart of every living being. And how many times in Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna has spoken about it. And we should remember those shlokas because it is so reassuring to remind ourselves, why are you worried? Why are you tensed? Why are you unhappy? The infinite happiness, bliss, Sri Krishna, Ananta Koti, Brahmanda Nayak is seated in our heart. He says that in 10:20, Ahamatma Gudakesha Sarva Bhutasha Istitah Aham Adirhi Madhyam Cha Bhutanamant Evacha. 10th chapter, 20th sloka Bhagavad Gita. He repeats it in 15:15. Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Shannivisto Matta Smritir Gyan Apohanam Cha Vedaischa Sarvair Ahmeva Vedyo Vedant Kridved Videva Chaham. Same point he repeats again in 18th chapter, 61st verse. He says, Ishvaraha sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjun tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rodhani mayaya. In all these three shlokas, so candidly and so clearly, he says that I am seated in the heart of every living being. So there is so much to rejoice about this knowledge that God, who is the controller, creator of every object, every personality in the universe, in Paramatma form, right now he is seated in our heart. And he loves the devotees. So we should all be rejoicing. We should all be so much eager to hear from the Bhagwat Katha, which is what we are trying to do right now. So that is a little snippets about the episode of Prahlad Maharaj. And we also learned about the dialogue between Yudhishthir and Narad Ji, which began this canto, how Hiranyakashipu consoled his mother Diti. Diti, Aditi, they are the wives of Kashyap Ji. Kashyap Ji is the son of Marichi, who is the Manas Putra of Brahma Ji. Aditi and Diti, they are the daughters of Danu and in the Manvantar, but they also have different forms in different Manvantars. In Swayambhu Manu, the lineage is different, and in Vaivasvat Manu, the lineage is different. That we will read in the 8th canto. In 7th Manvantar, the father of Aditi is Daksh Prajapati, not the same personality, the same personality, but he is in a different role. In Swayambhu Manvanta, Daksh Prajapati married Prasuti, who is the daughter of Manuji Maharaj. But in Vaivasvat Manu, Daksh Prajapati is married to Asikni, and the daughter is Aditi, who is married to Kashyap Rishi, and she has the son Vivaswan. She also has a son Chyavan, and also, sorry, Chyavan is the son of Bhrigu Rishi. She also has the son Vaman Bhagwan, about whom we will study in the 8th canto. So this is just a bit about the different manvantars and how the same personalities can appear and reappear. So we shouldn't get too worried about the complexities. Slowly we will learn. So how Hiranyakashipu consoled his mother Diti, and how he did the tapasya and got the boon, and then how he terrorized the citizens, and how he oppressed Prahladji, how Prahladji imparted the knowledge to his classmates. Then Prahladji's birth was recalled, how his mother Kayadu had been kidnapped by Indra, and how Naradji saved her. And the manifestation of Lord Narsim, Prahladji's incredibly sweet prayers to the Lord, how he refused to get the boon. However, the boon was the benedictions were given to him. He was asked to be the king for one manvantar, which is 30 crores, 67 lakhs, 20,000 years. Prahlad's son is Virochan, and Virochan's son is Bali Maharaj, about whom we will learn in 8th canto in detail. So that's a little background before we begin today's session. Now we shall sing the bhajan, and then we will read the text, and finally we will have some interactive session. So today's bhajan is based on Danya Bhav, where the devotee recalls the helplessness of the jiva in the material world, which Bhagwat Gita describes as dukkhalayam ashashvatam. It's temporary and it is miserable. But it does not remain miserable for a devotee, because he gets the knowledge that the body is temporary, the soul is eternal. So this material world is not the final destination of the soul. And also, if we can develop the divine sentiments, then this material world no longer remains a material world, it becomes spiritualized. So the important point is the knowledge. Whether we live in the material world or we live in the spiritual world, of course, there is no question of having any contamination. Everything is divine and glorious. But in the material world also, if we develop the divine sentiments, the material contamination does not remain a barrier or a bottleneck. So, but until the time we have been blessed with the knowledge, and or we are realizing the importance of devotion, what is the state of the jiva is very much depicted in this bhajan. Are man char dina ki baat. It's all about a very small time. Oh mind, it is a matter of few days only. The splendor of moonlight of human life is temporary. There will be nothing except utter darkness hereafter. You are still having slumber, being unaware of the time factor which is chasing you to overtake suddenly. It is so amazing, in spite of being knocked by the afflictions of Maya over and over again, you do not abandon the sleep of ignorance, relinquishing the material attachments. On losing this auspicious opportunity, you will wander aimlessly, suffering in the 8.4 million species of life, repenting for not making appropriate use of the rare human birth. Says Kripaluji Maharaj, you will have time to listen to, you will not have time to listen to, sorry, let me just read it from my, yeah. You will have time to listen to the Rasik sense and surrender yourself unto the lotus feet of the divine couple, Sri Radha Krishna. Yes. You will still have time, you will still have time to listen to the Rasik sense. So, a very sentimental, poignant bhajan to begin our session. चार दिना की बात अरे मन चार दिना की बात अरे मन नर तनु शरद नर तनु शरद चांदनी बीते नर तनु शरद चांदनी बीते ऊनी अंधियारी रात अरे मन चार दिना की बात अरे मन तू सोवत कछु जानत नाही तू सोवत कछु जानत नाही काल लगायो घात अरे मन काल लगायो घात अरे मन चार दिना की बात अरे मन ताज तन नींद यद्यपि विषयन के तादत ताज तन नींद यद्यपि विषयन के चीन जूते खात अरे मन छीन छीन जूते खात अरे मन चार दिना की बात अरे मन अवसर चूकी प्रिय चौरासी अवसर चूकी प्रिय चौरासी करमी जत पछितात अरे मन करमी जत पछतात अरे मन चार दिना की बात हरे मन रसिकन कही कृपालु मान गहु रसिकन कही कृपालु मान गहु जुगल चरण चल जात हरे मन जुगल चरण चल जात हरे मन चार दिना की बात हरे मन हरे मन हरे मन। बोलिए श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की जय, श्रीमद जुगल सरकार की जय। जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे। Our koti koti pranam to the lotus feet of Sri Hari and Sri Guru. Our koti koti pranam to Swami Mukundanand ji. My humble pranam to each one of you. And now we shall read from the chapter 11 of Canto 7 of Bhagwat Mahapuran, wherein we are learning about the episode of Prahlad Ji Maharaj, Narsingha Bhagwan. That is the main theme of this canto, and it falls under the topic of Uti. As we discuss, Sarg, Visarg, Uti, Poshnam, Asthanam, Manvantar, Nirod, Mukti, Ishanu, Katha, and Ashraya. These are the 10 topics of Srimad Bhagwat Mahapuran. So here we are learning about how the devotees are developing auspicious inclinations and inauspicious inclinations, and how the Lord responds to the devotee's inclination. That is the topic we are learning. So let us read the text. I will read a couple of slides, and we request others to raise their hands if they wish to read. Canto 7, Chapter 11, description of Manav Dharma, Stri Dharma, and Varna Dharma. After hearing the most glorious legend of devotion, Bhakta Prahlad, Yudhishthir now inquires the details and rules prescribed in the Vedas of Dharma, Varna, and Ashram to be followed by a human from Narad Muni, as the sage is the mind-born son of Brahma with direct access to this knowledge. After bowing and praying to the Supreme Lord mentally, Narad Muni is more than happy to preach what he learned from Nar and Narayan regarding Dharma, who is residing in Badrik Ashram, practicing austerity to this day for the welfare of the people. The source and authority of the Vedas are Sri Hari alone, from whom came the Vedas. Dharma, practicing the following acts, conduct, pleases the Lord immensely and is a part of Dharma: truthfulness, compassion, austerity, endurance, purity of body, discrimination of right and wrong, control of mind and senses, non-violence, continence, charity, chanting prayers, honesty, contentment, seva, slow reclusion from mundane activities, silent contemplation, seeking knowledge of the self, equipoise towards everyone, regarding everyone as the same like self, hearing and chanting the glory of Sri Hari, waiting upon Sri Hari and Guru, worshipping Sri Hari, bowing to Sri Hari, practicing Karma Yoga, dedicating all resources available in seva to Hari and Guru. So after Yudhishthir Maharaj has heard the story of Prahlad ji and Narsingha Bhagwan from Narad ji, Yudhishthir ji had wanted to hear about the Varnashram Dharma, how it is detailed, because he was so inspired by the rule of Prahlad ji Maharaj, who was such a iconic great king, and he performed his duties so efficiently and so ethically, and in accordance with the rules. So that is how this topic has come here, that what is this Mano Dharma, what is the Stri Dharma, and what is the Varna Dharma, which is being described in Bhagwat Mahapuran in this chapter, in the Canto 7. So as we understood that there are so many qualities, if we say that we are practicing dharma. In Bhagavad Gita also, there is this chapter called 16, Daivasur Guna Vibhag Yog. Chapter 16, the first three shloks is talking about these qualities. It says, Abhyam Sattvam Sansuddhir Jnana Yoga Vyavasthitihi Dana Damascha Yagyascha Swadhyay Astapa Arjavam Ahimsa Satyama Krodhas Tyaga Shantir Apaishunam Dayabhuteshva Loluptvam Mardhvam Hirira Chapalam Teja Chamadriti Shaucham Adroho Nati Manita Bhavanti Sampadam Devim Abhijatasya Bharata. These are very prominent verses from Bhagavad Gita, 16th chapter, verse number 1, 2, 3, where all the qualities of dharma are described. That you want to call yourself a righteous person, a person who lives by the dharma, you should have these qualities: humility, modesty, ability to tolerate. You should do your austerities, you should do the scriptural study, you should have the compassion, you should have the fearlessness, etc., etc. Every quality is detailed so beautifully in these three shlokas. And here also, the Bhagavad has described these qualities in great detail. Let us see what is next. And in the meantime, we would encourage some of you also to read. So in the second slide, there are definitions about all these technical terms. So what is a Dvij, or who is a Dvij? So Dvij is a twice born. Why this person is called twice born? Because of the investiture or thread ceremony of the sacred thread is treated as second birth for Brahmins, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas. So in the Varnashram Dharma, which is based on 4 Varnas and 4 Varn and 4 Ashram. What are the 4 ashram? Brahmacharya ashram, Grihast ashram, Vanprasth ashram, and Sannyas ashram. These are the 4 stations in life. Roughly, first 25 years, the person is a student, he is not having a family, etc. Is just concentrating on his study and learning. Next 25 years, he gets married, he has his family, that is called the Girahast ashram. And the third segment is the Varnashram, is the where he goes into the retirement phase of his life. And the last 25 years is complete detachment from the world, that is the Sannyas ashram. This is if somebody is rigidly following the ritualistic dharma. These are the ashrams. And what are the 4 words, the 4 castes? It is Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. Brahmin is the intellectual class who impart the knowledge to the people in the society. They are the custodian of the dharma. Kshatriyas are the warrior class. They protect the society, the people, the children, the women, the old people, and all. The next one is Vaishya, who are the merchant class, who do the agriculture and the cattle farming, etc., so that everyone in the society can be fed. And the fourth one is the labor class, who provide the labor, which is so important. Now, All these are based on one's profession and not based on one's birth. Just because somebody was born to a Brahmin, he doesn't become a Brahmin. He has to have the qualities of a Brahmin. And any person can graduate to become a Brahmin. If a person is in the merchant class, but he is born in the merchant class, but he has the abilities of the Brahmin, so he develops that knowledge, and with the training, he can become a Brahmin. So it is not decided on birth. Here in the contaminated version and the misinterpreted version, people think that we become Brahmins or Kshatriya by birth, which is not the case. So these are the four Varnas and the four ashrams, and Dvij is the Brahmin who has gone through this investiture ceremony, the thread ceremony, Upnayan ceremony, in which he gets a thread. So that is considered a second birth because that knowledge is imparted at that point in the life of this person. So his family also practices the 16 purificatory rites, sanskaras with mantras or sacred text being followed by the family from generations together as approved by Lord Brahma in the Vedas. They should follow the duty prescribed as per the ashram, that is brahmacharya or a student life, grihastya or householder life, vanprastha or reclusive life, sannyas or renunciate. This is the mode for dvijas as per birth and conduct. Brahman, study of the scriptures, practicing, performing yajna and charity, teaching the scriptures, acting as purohit, receiving dakshina for these services are recommended from a Brahmin. He may accept gifts only and when required for subsistence, and hence non-obligatory. Kshatriyas, they may practice the above-mentioned duties of Brahmins except accepting gifts, but only in case of emergency or distress. He can primarily earn his maintenance from fees, taxes, and fines for protecting the people. Vaishyas, who mainly deal with trading and in agriculture and follow the instructions of the Brahmins. Sudra comprises of artisans and labor for providing seva to his employers and earns maintenance for the same. So this is the chapter in which Yudhishthir ji wanted to know about the Varnashram system and all the details which Narad ji is explaining. We will also know, or some of us we already know, that Karma Kand is not compulsory, that you have to do the rituals. Karma Kand is the starting point. In the Vedas, there is Karma Kand, which is what we are reading right now. Varn, ashram, duties, rituals, yagyas. And then there is Gyan Kand, which is about the core knowledge, the Tattva Gyan. And then there is the Upasana Kand, the devotion. It is the devotion which is the most important. And finally, everyone has to gravitate to become a devotee of the Lord, because the nature of the soul is to serve the Lord. Jivere Swarup Hoy Krishnera Nityadas. As the soul, which is a fragment of God, we are the eternal servitor of the Lord. And unless we serve the Lord, our heart will not be contented. But not everybody will come to this realization immediately. So Vedas have given an elaborate description of Karma Kand. So at least the people who are not going into the devotion, they remain connected with Vedas and the religiosity and the spirituality through these karma kand rituals. I'm sure many of you already know it. Let us see the next slide. Vijay Bhaiya, you would like to read this? Yes.
So a man following brahmacharya may choose one of the following to sustain in decreasing merit of the following. Highest merit is accorded for him to collect the grains lying scattered, after they have been cut for sale in the fields or in go down after being sold, which is called Rita. The second one is begging food grains if one is not possible. That is Martha. And third is gift received without asking. Amrita. So going
Yeah,
back to
so these are different technical terms which are described. So self-explanatory. It is if we go into details, it is very much descriptive. But like for bhakta, this is not so exciting because it is a part of the ritualistic performance. Let's see the next slide.
right. So one who is in a lower grade of social life cannot accept the profession of a higher class unless necessary. In times of emergency, all the classes but the Kshatriyas may accept professional duties of others. The means of livelihood known as Rita, which is Silochana, Amrita, Ayachita, Amrita, Yachna, uh, Paramartha, Karsana, and Satyandra, Vanijaya may be accepted by everyone but the Kshatriyas. For a Brahmana or a Kshatriya, engaging in the service of the Vaishyas or Shudras is considered the profession of the dogs. Third one is control of mind, austerities, purity of body, containment, forgiveness, compassion, veracity, devotion to Lord Vishnu are the characteristics of Brahmana. A martial spirit, valor, fortitude, audacity, liberality, self-control, forgiveness, devotion to Brahmana, protecting the weak are the characteristics of Kshatriya.
Yeah. So again, the technical knowledge about the different roles of brahmacharis and girastis and brahmins are all described, like how one should earn their livelihood, and can kshatriya do what brahmins are doing, and vice versa. Those points are discussed, and also the characteristics of the brahmin is described in this slide. Let's see the next one.
Aradhya, do you want to read?
Okay, yeah, sure. Devotion to gods, Acharya, and to the immortal Lord Vishnu, following three Purushastra of religious Mamid Dharam. Wealth, art, sensual pleasures, calm. Belief in reincarnation and striving for acquiring wealth legally and using it wisely are the characteristics of a Vaisya. Humbleness, submissive, submissiveness, purity, assisting by doing seva, truthfulness, protecting the cows and Brahmins are the characteristics of a Sudra. The duty of a woman is to be devoted to her husband, to serve him, assist him, maintain good relations, and observe all sacred vows with him. Maintaining herself and her house, ensuring calm atmosphere in the house, always being truthful and agreeable, contented and be aware of Dharma. She should serve her husband, and if she's serving Sri Hari, and be equally devoted to him. Just as a field becomes dry by repeatedly yielding crops, the senses will get dry in overindulgence of the sense objects. Just as drop by drop of ghee will keep the fire burning, but a whole jar of ghee will extinguish it. Example, sage strawberry. So, also huge desires in the latent form are sure to be extinguished, more than small desires, O Yudhishthir.
So again, thank you. The whole lot of terms are described. The rules are described in the slide about the Istri Dharma. the duty of a wife. And then in the last part, there is a statement about the desires, like the fire of desire keeps burning. And however, when a jar of ghee is poured, it extinguishes it completely. Although in the early uh, portions in Bhagwat, we read that the ghee acts as a you know ghee acts as a fuel to the fire. Like, so it is no good to pander to the desire and pour ghee. But here we read a contradictory statement, that a whole lot of ghee, when poured, extinguishes. That is why the scriptures are very complex, and we cannot understand the meaning unless we are under the shelter of a guru. So this point we keep highlighting. So the Istri Dharma and the Mano Dharma we just read about. Let us see the takeaway now. So let me read. This is a set of shlokas from Bhagavad Gita 13th chapter, which is called Kshetra Kshetragya Yoga. Kshetra means the field, and Kshetragya means the knower of the field. So, after the chapter of Bhakti Yoga, this chapter is appearing in Bhagavad Gita, where Sri Krishna describes what are the various elements of the field. So when he talks about the field, he talks about the human body, the Panch Pran, the life air which is running into the body, the senses, Panch Karmendriya, Panch Gyanendriya, the mind, the intellect, the ego. All these elements are very well described, which constitutes the field. But who is the knower of this field? The knower of this field is Atma, because all these manifestations of the field are energized by the soul. Soul is the prime mover for the different elements. So the shlok which is here, if you can go back, amanitvam adambitvam ahimsa chantirajyavam acharyopasanam shaucham asthairyam atma vinigrahah indriyateshu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityurjara vyadhir dukkha doshanudarshanam asaktir anabhishwangah putradara grihadishu nityam cha samachitatvam इष्टानिष्टोपपत्तिषु मयि चानन्य योगेन भक्तिर अव्यभिचारिणी विविक्त देशे सेवित्वम् अर्ति अर्जन संसदि अध्यात्म ज्ञान नित्यत्वम् तत्व ज्ञानार्थ दर्शनम् एतज् ज्ञानम् इति प्रोक्तम् ज्ञानम् यदतोऽन्यथा. Now these are iconic verses. In certain communities, they read this shloka every day, because it is such an amazing compilation of all the points which are essential for sadhana: humbleness, freedom from hypocrisy, non-violence, forgiveness, simplicity, service of the guru, cleanliness of body and mind, steadfastness and self-control, dispassion toward the object of the senses, absence of egotism, keeping in mind the evils of birth, disease, old age, and death, non-attachment, absence of clinging to a spouse, children, home, and so on, even-mindedness amidst desired and undesired events in life, constant and exclusive devotion toward me, an inclination for solitary places, an aversion for mundane society, constancy in a spiritual knowledge and philosophical pursuit of the absolute truth. All these I declare to be knowledge, and what is contrary to it I call ignorance. So Sri Krishna, delivers this very powerful, impactful message in the 5 shlokas in this chapter. So he says, all these which I am describing are the knowledge, and what is contrary to it, I call it ignorance. Okay. So if anybody wants to read this once again for the impact, otherwise we can open up the discussions for some interactions.
Right. Let me know if anybody wants to read this.
The Sanskrit
Hello?
and
The
the
meaning.
translation. This is a very famous shloka, many people perhaps would have heard. And otherwise, we can hand over to Vijay ji to
I think
conduct some
Aradhya
practice.
just raised her hand. Yes, Aradhya, like, you want to read it?
I can read it, but I can't read it like that way.
Or do you want to read the
Translation?
translation?
Want to read?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Humbleness, freedom from hypocrisy, non-violence, forgiveness, simplicity, service of the Guru, cleanliness of the body and mind, steadfastness and self-control, dispassion toward the objects of the sense, absence of egotism, keeping in mind the evils of birth, disease, old age, and death, non-attachment, absence of clinging to spouse, children, home, and so on. Even mindedness admits desire and undesired events in life, constant and exclusive devotion towards me, and inclination for solitary places and an aversion for mundane society, constancy in spiritual knowledge and philosophical pursuit of the absolute truth. All these I declare to be knowledge, and what I contrary to it I call ignorance. Radhe Radhe.
Thanks, Aradhya. So I think we are almost done with all the slides. So we'll open up. Before that, thank you so much, Rajesh, for putting up all these dharmas. I know it's very difficult at this in this age to follow all the dharmas, but the qualities that we have read today in each dharma, probably that one will try to cling towards. So with that, like, I'll open up for discussion. Like, anybody wants to share any thoughts, or do you have any questions with what we learned today? And anything related to your spiritual journey also, if you can share, or you want to, if you have any questions, please go ahead and raise your hand. I see two new persons joining today, Vidya Didi and Madhu Chuvan. So do you guys want to unmute yourself and ask a question
Introduce.
or introduce yourself?
Hanji, Radhe Radhe everyone.
Uh,
My introduction to this is via WhatsApp. I met Jainji many years ago. I'm UK based and retired, so I have time, and I thought I will join this morning to find out an angle of Bhagavad Gita, which is quite nice, really. I do apologize. I was a little bit late joining, and sometimes it is not possible always to be able to join. But this is I am in UK, UK based.
Nice. So yeah, we do have this Bhagwatam, Srimad Bhagwatam session every Saturday, 8:30 to 9:30 UK time.
Mm-hmm.
So probably you can join and we are learning every week. We are learning new things,
Yes.
and it's so nice to read all the scriptures and understand. Also have a discussion related to our spiritual journey. Thank you
Yes,
so much.
one other thing, sorry, one other thing I wanted to
Yeah.
mention is I do get a chance to attend Friday sessions. Although my knowledge is very limited in Bhagavad Gita, I have tried to learn it at a very later age, and parents were very pious in the when we were very young. They used to read us Ramayana and Bhagavatam, but we did not understand it. But this was a ritual that parents did follow when we were very young. So this is an angle for me, and I hope maybe I can share this with other like-minded people.
Yeah. Yes. Definitely.
Yes, that is the intention,
Yeah.
because compilation is excellent, and reading is all in English as well. So, in other words, the discussions are easy to understand for the
Right.
the English speaking youngsters. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Muthuj. So, anybody else has any question? Um, uh, Smita Didi, Aradhya, Mohit here. Do you have any question?
No questions from my end. Thank you so much again for the wonderful session. Thank you, Radhe Radhe.
Yeah. So, right. Smita, do you have any questions? Aparna,
राधे राधे भैया।
Aradhya.
हर बार की तरह इस बार का भी सेशन बहुत ही ज्ञानवर्धक था। जैसा कि भैया ने कहा कि हमारे भागवतम में सारे मनुष्य को एक दृष्टि से देखने, सबको इक्वल समझने और पति पत्नी के एक दूसरे के प्रति एक इक्वल भावना से देखने की बात और एक दूसरे को सपोर्ट करने की बात, ये सारी बेसिक बातें हमारा धर्म सिखा रहा है। ऐसी चीजें अगर हम अपने लाइफ में डे टू डे लाइफ में शुरू करें और उसको कंटिन्यू रखें, कभी आपस में एक दूसरे के प्रति दुर्भावना या ये सोच कि वो पत्नी है, वो हमसे निम्न है, या वो पति है, वो ज्यादा रौब से बात करे, ये सारी बहुत ही बेसिक और व्यवहारिक बातें हैं जो एक पढ़ा लिखा इंसान तो वस्तुतः उसका ये धर्म है कि अगर वो पढ़ा लिखा है तो उस चीज को फॉलो करता ही है। लेकिन कभी कभी रास्ते में बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें आती हैं जिसके कारण वो अपने रास्ते से भटक भी जाते हैं। तो ये सारी बातें हमारा जो ये सनातन धर्म है वो भी कह रहा है कि आप बाकी बातें बाद में करो, पहले ये चीज अपने घर से शुरू करो कि सारी चीजों को अपने आसपास के लोगों अपने से है किसी को ना देखो, चाहे वो दूसरा फैमिली हो, दूसरा धर्म हो, दूसरी जात, सबको इक्वालिटी के साथ, सबको एक भावना से देखो, सबके प्रति ईमानदार रहो, अपने आप के प्रति ईमानदार रहो, अपने फैमिली और समाज के प्रति ईमानदार रहो। तो जिस दिन हर कोई इस ढंग से सोच करेगा, उस दिन से वस्तुतः यहाँ का इस दुनिया में जितना कला और विवाद है, आपसी जितनी भी भावनाएं हैं एक दूसरे को डाउन करने की, विश्व में इतने युद्ध हो रहे हैं, आपस में दो धर्म लड़ रहे हैं, दो जातियां लड़ रही हैं, तो ये सारी समस्या का निदान तो हमारे भागवतम में ही है। तो हम एक दूसरे को प्रेरित करें और एक दूसरे से सीखते रहें भैया के सानिध्य में, यही हमारी सबसे कामना है और खुद के लिए भी है कि मैं भी अपने आप को जितना भी हो और भी अच्छा और बेटर बना सकूं। और जो सबसे बड़ी चीज भैया ने कहा कि ऐसा नहीं है जैसे हमारे इंडिया में बहुत सारे आपस में जब भी वहाँ पे चुनाव होते हैं तो एक दूसरे के प्रति जाति को लेकर या धर्म को लेकर वोट करते हैं या लोगों का चुनाव करते हैं। भैया ये बात बहुत ही सटीक बात इन्होंने कहा कि कोई अगर ब्राह्मण से जन्म लिया है तो वो ब्राह्मण हो गया, और कोई अगर किसी निम्न कोटि के जाति का बच्चा अगर अच्छे व्यवहार का है तो वो ब्राह्मण नहीं हो सकता, ऐसी बात नहीं है। जो भी अच्छा आचरण करे, अच्छे रास्तों पे चले, वो ब्राह्मण है। और जो भी निम्न कोटि का, अगर ब्राह्मण का पुत्र भी निम्न कोटि का व्यवहार कर रहा है तो वो भी शुद्ध है, या वो भी निम्न कोटि की सोच वाला व्यक्ति है तो निम्न जाति का है। तो अगर इतना इतना इसको क्या मैं बोलूं, इस इस ढंग से सोच अपने आप में अगर हम में से सब में डेवलप हो जाए तो उस दिन तो साक्षात भगवान हमारे पास ही रहेंगे। बहुत सुंदर था भैया, थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू वेरी मच। भगवान
राधे
की
राधे।
नजर में कोई भी निम्न नहीं है, क्योंकि भगवान हर जीव के हृदय में निवास कर रहे हैं।
जी
ये निम्न और उच्च हम लोगों ने बना दिया मिस इंटरप्रेट करके। ऑफ कोर्स ब्राह्मण का स्थान है कि उसके पास ज्ञान है, तो एक एक उच्च स्थान उसको मिला हुआ है। लेकिन एज अ लिविंग बीइंग, शूद्र वैश्य क्षत्रिय सब में भगवान निवास कर रहे हैं, तो सबकी स्थिति एक है। यही तो भगवान ने भगवत गीता के एक और चैप्टर में कहा, विद्या विनय संपन्ने ब्राह्मणे गवि हस्तिनी शुनि चैवा स्वपाके च पंडिता समदर्शिना। समदर्शिन कौन है? पंडित असल में कौन है? जो एक ब्राह्मण में, एक हाथी में, एक कुत्ते में, एक चांडाल में जो कुत्ते को खाता है, सब में उसी भगवान को देखता है। इसीलिए बड़ा ही सुंदर ज्ञान है, इसमें कोई उच्च नीच का भेदभाव नहीं है। और यही हमको समझना चाहिए। हालांकि हमें यह भी मानना चाहिए कि त्रिगुणात्मक प्रकृति है, द नेचर इज थ्री कलर्ड, सात्विक राजसिक तामसिक। So there will always be conflicts, there will always be interplays of these forces. So if somebody says that I'll eliminate everything overnight, that is not possible, because the nature of the world is tricolored, and people will fall down, people will rise up. So we have to be aware about it. We should change ourselves, and the overall administration of the world, we should leave it in the hands of the Lord. Thank you.
राजेश भैया, बहुत सही बात आपने कहा। जो ब्राह्मण जाति में जन्म लेते हैं वो ब्राह्मण नहीं है मेरे हिसाब से। आपके आपके नॉलेज से मैंने ये समझा कि जो ब्रह्म को जानते हैं वो ब्राह्मण है, चाहे आप
वो ब्राह्मण।
किसी भी जाति में हो। तो ब्राह्मण का मतलब यहाँ पे जाति नहीं है, ब्राह्मण का मतलब यहाँ पे ज्ञान है। जिसको उस ज्ञान का अनुभव हो गया वो ब्राह्मण है।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
I think anybody else has any questions? If not, then probably we can wind up for today. It's almost time.
Yeah, we
Anybody?
give 30 seconds to anyone if anyone has any points to add. Otherwise, yeah. बोलिए श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार
की जय।
श्रीमद युगल सरकार की जय। जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे, जय जय श्री राधे।
Thank you. Thanks everyone. So we'll meet up again Saturday same time. Next chapters from Canto 7. Thank you so much. Radhe Radhe. everyone.
राधे राधे
राधे राधे।
राधे।